Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Photoshop to create an animated GIF using your dark still life images. This is an example of what your finished project might look like. If I close this, you can see the files that I used to create it. This is dark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And each one of them has a different adjustment layer that's been applied to it. Let me show you another one. Here, this one is called DSL, that stands for Dark Still Life. And here's the finished animation. And here are the images that I used to create it. So DSL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And again, each one of these have been altered in Photoshop with an adjustment layer. Let me show you how to do that. Open your best dark still life photo in Photoshop, then go over to the Layers panel and at the bottom click the Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer button and choose Levels. Adjust the levels if needed. Mine does need it because my whites are flat, so I'll click the white slider and bring that in to the beginning of the graph, and that has improved my photo. Now what I'm going to do is go back down here to the Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer button, and I'm just going to go through a bunch of these and try different things out. And the ones that I like, I'm going to keep. And the ones that I don't like, I'll either undo it or throw it in the trash. So let me demonstrate a couple of times. So for example, I could choose Gradient Map. And a gradient map can be black and white, but it can also be a color. So if I click and open this, maybe I'll choose reds because that would be maybe kind of spooky. And perhaps I'll choose this one. And I can change that more by clicking on this colored area right here. And perhaps I want it to have another color down here. So I'll click this, double click it, and maybe I want it to be dark purple. That looks interesting. And then I can move these sliders around to different amounts and affect the way the image looks. And I'll click OK. So if you like the changes that you made, then go ahead and save it. Go to File, Save As, Save on your computer, and let's see, I'll call this Skull. And it's number 1. I'll change this to JPEG. Click Save, make the quality 8, and click OK. Now I will turn the visibility icon off, which is the eyeball, and I'll go back down here to my Create New Fill or Adjustment Layer, and I'll try some of the other ones. Maybe I'll try Posterize. That looks pretty cool. I'm going to save that. File, Save As, save on your computer, and I'll call this Skull 2. Oop. And change it to a JPEG and save it. Quality of 8, OK. Now I'll turn off that eyeball to have my original showing. Go back down here and invert. Not really into invert, so you can either try Control or Command Z to undo that, or you can click that layer and throw it in this little trash can down here. I'm going to try Control or Command Z. So I didn't like that one. I'll go and try a different one. How about Vibrance? And I'll just really crank the vibrance and then decide if you like it. If you don't like it, undo it and try again. So keep following that process. Click down here and try out all of these different options until you get around 5 or 6. You could do more if you want to. Different files that have been saved. Okay, let me show you what to do next. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to not save my changes. Now I'm going to go to File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack, and I'll go to Browse. I'm going to do this one, Dark Still Life 1. I'll click the first image, hold down Shift, and click the last image. So I have 1 through 6 selected, and click OK. So it's loaded all of those here, and I will click OK. And it will take a minute, and they'll show up right here in the Layers panel. Now I'm going to go to Window, Timeline. Make sure that it says Create Frame Animation. If it doesn't, click to open this menu and change it right here. Click directly on this button and it loads the first image, the first frame down here in the timeline. Next, click to open this side menu and go to Make Frames from Layers. Now if you need to, you can rearrange the order. And let's see, I think I'm going to make a couple of changes. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Now I'll click on the first one, hold down Shift on the keyboard and click on the last one, open the seconds, and I'll try 1 second and see what that looks like, and push play. I actually really like it on 1 second, so I'm going to pause that, double check that the loop is set to forever, and it is. Now I will go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy, and it's processing. Now if you have large files or if you have lots of frames, this part might crash your computer, and if it does, you have to reduce the size of your files and try again. And ask me for help. I can help you out with what to do. Now I'm going to click Save, and I'll title this, let's see, DSL Animation 2, because I already have another version of it. And save. Wait for it to process. Now I'm going to go look for it in Google Drive, which is where I saved all of my files. And there it is. It might take a while for it to process. And there's my finished project. Have fun, everyone!